You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Okay, we're back in the Attraction Arsenal, episode 2 of 10. Hopefully you've listened to episode 1 and you're not just bouncing around. So this is my quick note to you. Do not bounce around, okay? You're going to get good information on all of these, but I highly recommend you start from the beginning and work your way till the end. And again, this whole process is probably going to be anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. I don't know. I'm just recording this right now, episode number 2. So I don't know how long they're all going to be, but I'm trying to stay under 5 minutes to give you the quick, hard-hitting techniques and tools. That's right, your arsenal for attracting women and getting to the relationship point, okay? And now, let's talk about where do you meet women? That's right. Where do you meet women? Well, there's many options, right? There's walking up to a girl in the grocery store. There's signing up for Tinder or Bumble or a dating app. There's signing up for Match.com or eHarmony or OkCupid. There's going to singles events. There's going to speed dating. There's going to networking events. There's going to your normal, year-to-year events like a wedding or some sort of event that's going on in your city or wherever is going on. That's going to be some sort of event or public gathering, right? Those are pretty much the most popular ways of meeting women. Okay, so that's the answer to the question of the title of the episode, where do you meet women? But how do you break it down? What's most important? Well, I told you in episode number 1 that cold approaching, I believe, should be a majority of your efforts in terms of meeting women. Why? Because you're building the skill of getting her in person, attracting her, and that is where attraction happens. It happens in the face-to-face level. We were not born to be attracting people over text messages and digital formats. That's not where attraction occurs. Okay, you can maybe maintain attraction or get her interested and intrigued, but you can't really get her understanding how your personality is, and you can't get her to understand how you behave. She can't feel your confidence and your courage and your fearlessness and be able to really feel your energy, so to speak, over text messages or over apps and online. It's better in person. So apps and online, they're great. Use them. Use everything in your arsenal. I say this in a lot of older podcasts that you should be using online and app dating, but I would hope that at least 60% of all of your efforts to meet women should be the cold approach, meeting a woman in person. So here's my hard-hitting technique for that. Okay, well, first of all, I broke it down for you. 60% should be meeting women in person, and then the rest is like 40% would be maybe 20% of that 40% is apps and online dating, and the other 20%, going to some networking events and maybe somewhere in there, making sure that you're going to events around town or things that you see, going to Facebook, meetup.com, places to really find cool events and going to those. So that is your breakdown right there. And then, of course, I know a lot of those are like, well, Trip, I can do cold approach at those events, networking events. Yes, absolutely. I think the 60% should really be a function of going out to bars, clubs, sidewalks, coffee shops during the day, kind of those places where people gather and going out and doing that. Why? Because you don't want to just rely on events, because then you no longer have control of the situation. It's like, well, can't go out tonight. There's no events going on. But no, you can. You can go out anytime you want and leave your house to be able to meet women. So make sure you do that, and that should be 60% of your time. So here's my biggest tip for you in terms of meeting women, okay, is that you need to be putting this on a schedule. Anyone who's ever been successful at anything has made deadlines and schedules and has been very proactive and productive in whatever skill they're trying to build. So just being like, okay, I'll try to go out more, that's probably not going to do it, right? We need to put a schedule in. It's like if you wanted to work out, are you saying, in order to be successful, are you saying like, oh, I'll just try to work out more? No, you're saying, hey, New Year's, I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? That's what you do. You put a schedule in. Same thing here. So I want you to take your time right now. This is a 1-minute exercise. Look at your calendar and say, when can I fit in about 3 hours this week to put into meeting women, right? If we're breaking it down with 60% being cold approach, I mean, 2 of those hours are going out and making sure you're meeting women in person. So maybe you go out once for an hour at night on a weekday or a weekend, and then going out for an hour during the day, somewhere populated, a mall, sidewalk, coffee shop where you can talk to girls there, and then spend another hour, putting some effort into messaging girls on the apps and online dating, right? So there you go. That's a sample breakdown though. You can do whatever you want. If you really want to push it, I mean, you could be going out multiple hours. You can go an hour every single night. Hey, I did that for almost a year straight. Every day I was doing a little bit of something. That's how I got to the point now where I'm being able to coach you. So that's my big tip for episode number 2 in the attraction arsenal, making a schedule, putting it out there, and making time to meet women. What works for you? I know that you can find a time in there to be able to do it. Now, don't forget that this entire series is, kind of sponsored by my Hooked program at GetHerHooked.com. And that is the system that teaches you from step A to Z how to be able to put this into practice and how to be able to attract women, whether you've talked to women in your life or whether you haven't. So make sure you check out GetHerHooked.com for more information on that program, and gives you the step-by-step process and program to follow to get this going. So this is kind of like a little teaser and a little bit of a quick information guide to help you get more girls, but taking it to that next level is at GetHerHooked.com. All right, see you on episode number 3.